I've had enough of this country, I really have. First it's Leeds riots, then it's two scumbags painted out as victims when really they're criminals, attacking the police, but then they only released the video, the full video, the next day so we could all see it for what it was, but they tried to be biased about it. Then we get one of our soldiers stabbed up on the street because he's in his uniform. And if that ain't bad enough, little babies, stabbed up like that. Who does that? Even if it is religious motivated or any other kind of motivation, whatever your motivation is to do that, it's just evil. All those things happen, yeah? And not once has our Labour government given any kind of empathy to the public. It's just scripted bullshit that they feel that they have to say to keep us compliant and quiet. They go up to Southport for a photo opportunity, lay a wreath. They get heckled. If any decent Prime Minister would have turned around and tried to reassure people, even if he was being heckled, because that's what's called being a man, you know what I mean? But no, he just turns around and walks off and ignores everybody. And then you wonder why people have gone up there and rioted and got angry. You're not listening to your people, bruv. You ain't giving us any detail on this piece of shit that killed these kids. And as the public, as parents as well, I feel we have a right to know. Because you don't know if they've got anybody else lined up in any other towns and cities planning an attack on other kids. And that's what my concern is. I want to keep my kids safe. But you voice any of those concerns about what's the fuck's going on in this country, like immigration and everything, it doesn't work anymore. They don't want to integrate with us. And what are they doing? Roaming our streets, raping our daughters, terrorising our women on the streets where they can't even go out and feel safe anymore. My 17-year-old daughter won't even go out and socialise with her mates because of this situation. Because she's already had a problem with it. What the hell is it going to take for you all to listen? Because I guarantee, Keir Starmer, if you'd have listened to your people and addressed them properly yesterday when you went up and got your photo opportunity, then maybe that riot wouldn't have happened up there. But no, you seem to be pandering to the other side, thinking that everyone's Islamophobic and everything, when that's bullshit. And the mainstream media, the mainstream biased media, anyone that voices a concern on what's really happening out there is just a far-right racist. Fuck off. Wanting to keep your girls, your daughters, your mothers, your sisters safe on the street, wanting our soldiers, our veterans, be put first before immigrants, because so they flipping should. They should be put way first, way on top of the list before any immigrant comes in this country. And our grandmothers and grandfathers deserve to be warm and eat well as well this winter over immigrants. You've been in number 10 for 5 minutes and all this civil unrest has happened. When are you going to listen to the British citizens, the ones that pay taxes, the ones that have come over here and successfully integrated with us, that have worked bloody hard all their lives, yeah? When are you going to listen to the indigenous concerned people? Because that's all we are, we're just concerned and we're standing up for what's right. And that does not make us racist or far right. So if anyone's to blame for all this civil unrest that's going on at the moment, Keir Starmer, go and look in the mirror, mate, because you're the flipping problem. Because you don't listen. You never do listen. You just turn your back and walk away and say nothing. Incompetent, gutless, yellow-bellied arsehole. And as for Yvette Cooper, mate, don't get me started on her. She is one incompetent, biased piece of shit. You just don't care about the British people, do you? Especially the indigenous ones, may I add. Because you're all right putting out statements about people feeling the full force of the law. Let me ask you, is that them couple of scumbags from the Manchester airport been arrested and charged yet? No, I bet they haven't, have they? But then you're going to use the full force of the law on yesterday. I don't condone any violence at all. But it seems to be the only language that you're answering to. So in my eyes, and in many other people's eyes, any of that violence that happened in Southport, that's on you guys. That's on you as a Labour government, because you don't listen. Because everyone can see you for what you are. Your two-tier policing, your two-tier politics. Showing more empathy for a couple of criminals, painting them out as victims, than you do the British people. We see you wanting to protect our children, wanting to preserve and protect our heritage and culture, our British values and morals, does not make us far-right racists. That makes us realists. And the thing is, we're seeing you for what you are. And you know it. That's why you're painting us out to be the worst kind ever. Because you're scared. And you're using your mainstream media to do it. Gutless. Absolutely gutless. Instead of actually listening to the people, hearing people's stories, because I bet you saying you've never stood foot in an East London town where I grew up and saw it change before my eyes, or you've stepped in any other town, an urban town, and seen it, because I tell you, I guarantee you wouldn't walk down there on your own. Trust me on that. You wouldn't know what it's like to go skint and live off beans on toast or scrambled egg on toast for a week because you've got bills to pay and because you've got so much tax to flipping pay. You got to pay your taxes or eat one week, yeah? And if you choose to eat that week, then you're sure on our arse for your money, ain't ya? Now is the time to start listening to the British people before it gets worse. And that's not me making threats before the mainstream media or any one of you lefties out there go, oh, look, yeah, she's violent, she's making threats. No, we're fucking angry. We're fucking upset because we can't afford to live sometimes. And the fact that we're pushed to the back of the queue and other ethnicities and immigrants are getting more priority over us that work hard, pay our taxes, that is a violation.